Hi guys, today I will show you what I've been up to lately. Buying and fixing an old dirt bike, testing some new Honda bikes and also the Stark Varg. I also go to Trumsa to pick up a bike for a friend and ride it back home. And lastly, I attend the motorcycle day in Harstad and ride the parade. I'm also going to tell you about my plans this fall, so stay tuned. Okay guys, we are out on a new mission today. I'm going to pick up another bike, and this bike I'm only going to flip. That's the plan. It's a 1988 Honda CR125R, and I came across this bike on Facebook Marketplace, and it was so close that I just had to go and have a look at it, and I did that this weekend. I went with the XRV and I bought it for 7,000 kroners, around $700 ish. So it's in a pretty rough condition, but he said that the engine did run the last time they tried to start it many years ago, and it's been parked in a barn, so I guess I can call this one a kind of barn find, so that's cool. So I'm going to pick it up, get it back home, wash it, drain the fuel tank, clean the carburetor, and then try to just fire it up. And if it starts, I'm just going to put it up for sale. So I'm just going to make a little video out of this, and I hope you will enjoy it. So at this point I did not know what I was getting myself into, and I did not know that I would actually end up regretting buying this bike. It's not every day you find a bike like this in a barn in northern Norway, that's for sure. Hi guys, it's now been around 6 weeks since I picked up this bike. I was supposed to just flip this bike very fast, just cleaning the gas tank and the carb, and just fire it up and sell it. It was kind of a barn find, but it didn't have a spark, and I misdiagnosed it and ordered a new CDI and coil from the US. So it took some time, and when I got the parts it still didn't spark, and it ended up being the pickup coil, because the pickup coil had loosened at some point and fell onto the flywheel. So it had been grinded down somehow. So I had to take it off and grind off the dowel pins that was built into it, and then I was able to move it closer to the flywheel, and it sparked. Another thing was that the water pump housing in the clutch cover was totally done, and I tried getting a new cover, but that was very difficult, finding the right year, and it was also very expensive. So I did something I normally never do. I did a JB weld repair, and also ordered a rebuild kit from AliExpress, just to try to get it running. It's not something that I would run normally, but it's just to get it running. And now I've come to the point where I'm actually about to fire it up. I haven't tried kicking it over, but it's got fresh gas, and I had to take the spark plug from my KX500 because that was the only plug I had available. So this is the first time I'm opening the petcock. So I think we are ready. I'm going to put this camera on a tripod. It's actually my first vlog on my new camera, the DJI Osmo Action. I really love this camera. And let's see. So I don't know how many years it's been since this bike ran the last time. So let's just try and see. Choke on. Oopsie daisy. So I put the bike up for sale as a restoration project, and it only took half an hour before it was sold. I only made $200 on it, but that's the way it is. The most important thing is that this bike now gets a new life. Perfect. Good morning, guys. It's now Saturday the 6th of June. The clock is 6 o'clock in the morning, and today I'm on a different mission. I'm going to Trumsa to pick up a Yamaha NMAX 125. I'm doing this for a former work colleague of mine who is retired now, and I'm just going to ride the bike or the scooter back home for him. So that's going to be interesting. I've never ridden 300 kilometers on a scooter, so let's see how this turns out. So I don't have a clue how the audio is right now, because it's the first time I'm using my DJI Osmo Action 6 with the lavalier microphone. So I might have to adjust the gain. So I'm going to stop at the gas station and check the tire pressure, because the scooter has been sitting since last season. So I'm gonna have to check that. I'm not sure how I'm going to rig the second camera, because there's not that much to mount it on. Maybe I will just have to do with one camera. That's a bummer, but yeah. Okay, let's go. $300 kilometers on this scooter. Okay, so there is a lot of wind buffeting going on from the windshield here, so I really don't know how that's going to sound on the video, but I consider this kind of a test since, well, I got the cameras a couple of weeks ago, but I didn't get the 3.5 audio adapter before. I got it a couple of days ago, and I haven't had time to test it, so that's why it's a test. This isn't maybe the most interesting things for you adventure motorcycle guys, but it's still fun. 2 wheels and an engine, so that must be okay. Normally when I ride to, or when I drive to Trumsa, I take the main road that goes through Nordkjosbotn, but today I'm going to take a whole another road that I've never driven before, through Mallangseide, and I will be entering the main road in Olsborg or something. What's happening here? What the hell? Some reindeers, okay. I think it's funny when I ride a scooter because I feel, or I picture myself in the scene from Dumb and Dumber. I love that movie. When they go to Aspen on the very, very tiny scooter. I think it's a lawnmower engine type, or maybe smaller, on that bike. I miss having my phone on the handlebar. Oops. So my former work colleague that I'm picking this up for, he had an Aprilia Atlantic 125 2005 model, and it started acting up. It was hard to start sometimes. It seemed like the battery was low, it just didn't turn over fast enough to start, and sometimes it just didn't turn over at all. So I did some diagnosing on it, and I concluded with that the starter motor was done. So I got a new one from Italy. So I replaced it, but there was no difference at all. So then I took off the cover over the primary and secondary sheave to replace the Bendix for the starter, because I also had bought that. And then I discovered that I actually couldn't turn the engine over. So something has failed inside of the engine. I'm not sure what, but something has. This road is really bad. So my friend is 70 years old, and he really loved that Aprilia, and those small trips he did on it meant a lot. So he did want a new one. I might have encouraged him to buy one, but I know how much it means to him, and I know he's going to miss it, so that's why I'm helping him getting this bike back home. Is that a HEMAS? I think so. No, it's not.
Told him I can be a fighter if you want. I'll be there to catch you if you fall. I can make it brighter when it's dark, when it's dark. I told him I would do it all for you, and I know you do it for me too. I can be a fighter if you want, if you want. I can be a fighter. I can be a fighter if you want. I can be a fighter if you want.
I bet they kind of wondered what kind of guy is this with a Honda helmet on this scooter. One thing I really noticed is the small wheels on these bad roads. So I've ridden 200 kilometers now, I still haven't filled the tank, and I have like 35 kilometers left to Bjerkvik, or maybe 40 kilometers, so I should make it. You're supposed to be able to do around 300 kilometers according to the technical sheet, but I'm not sure if that's correct when you're doing 80 or 90. But I still have 2 dots left on the fuel gauge, so should be fine. So the fuel light just started blinking, so I hope I'm going to make it, and I think I did, because just when I'm clearing this hill I can basically almost roll down to Bjerkvik, so I guess that means that I made it. Okay, now it's blinking again. Come on, 5,8 liter. 5.8 liters. Okay. I'm going to visit a grocery store, I think. So 5.8 liters on 231 kilometers. What's happening here? Oi, oi! Oi, oi! So let's rewind the time a little. Today is the 19th of May and I'm on my way to Harstad to the Honda Roadshow at Trumsa to try out some new bikes. At this time I had just gotten my new DJI Osmo Action 6 cameras, and they didn't have the audio adapter in stock, so I didn't have the chance to vlog, so it'll only be voiceover. That's the way it is.
Never was ready for love. All the fun times we had. Tell me, do I ever miss that? I try to figure this all out for my.
So this is a new Transalp 750. I only got to ride this bike for about 15 minutes, and I'm obviously not a motorcycle test rider, so you should not listen carefully to my opinions on this. Immediately, I think it feels a little more sturdy than the T7. It feels heavier, and also the gearing seems to be somewhat higher, so the added punch I was expecting from the extra 20 horses was kind of vague. I also felt less protected from wind or weather than on the T7. It's actually very stupid to try to review a bike after a so small ride, but that was just my initial thoughts. A very capable bike, but my XRV is just as capable, I think, except for the lower power, of course. So this is the new CRF 1100 Africa Twin. What a fantastic machine to ride. This is my first time trying out a bike with a DCT transmission. I think it's very cool, but I'm old-fashioned and I want a manual transmission, period. The shifts are really quick, quicker than I can do on my CRF, I guess, but I just want a manual transmission. I do feel that this bike has got less and less to do with the original Africa Twin. The 19-inch front wheel is one thing, but this bike is so complicated with all these switches and tech. How would it even survive in a harsh environment? Well, I guess it will be just fine, because I guess this bike is actually not meant to ride off-road, at least not like the XRV was back in the day. But it's a very cool bike indeed. I also feel that my CRF 1000 with the Rapid Bike ECU tuner and DCAT actually pulls just as hard. I guess this probably has something to do with the fact that my CRF is Euro 4 and this new one is Euro 5. So it's probably running very lean and would probably outperform my CRF, of course, with some ECU tuning. So yeah. So this is the Honda CB1000 GT. I just randomly tested this bike because I could, and this is actually my very first time riding a bike with a quick shifter, and that's really cool. The sound of an inline 4-cylinder bike brings back good memories from my time with the Kawasaki C1000. So just cool to test some bikes. This is the Rebel 1100. I think this is actually the bike that impressed me the most today. Maybe it's because I didn't think I would like to ride it, but I did. It's definitely not my type of bike, but I felt really cool gliding around on this bike, and it pulled really good from a dead stop. Having the DCT transmission felt more right on this type of bike, I think. Cool bike.
Jag har aldrig varit här för. Hä? Tror du det? Ja. Ja.
How about this? A 750 scooter, the Forza 750, with the DCT. Well, it is what it is. I just needed to test it. And it's actually really fun to ride. I could definitely do longer distances on this. Cool to try.
artig å kjøre det.
Ja, veldig lettkjørt.
Jeg har kjørt den i sted.
Ja, det er fantastisk.
Ja,
Det er jo, altså, det her kan man jo fort bli vant til.
ja, det er, altså hvis jeg skulle jo...
Finally, I get to test the Stark Varg. There was this really nice guy at the roadshow who let me test his Varg that he just bought. Well, this is a crazy bike, no doubt about it. It does outperform a 500cc two-stroke, and that's kind of hard to swallow. But me being that old-fashioned guy that I am, I actually didn't think it was that mean. Only having one gear is weird. Shifting gears on a two-stroke that is on the pipe is just something else. But this was a really cool experience, and I'm so thankful for him letting me borrow this. Today is Saturday the 30th of May, and I'm riding into the city of Harstad now to attend the yearly motorcycle day. It's a nice event to kickstart the season here in northern Norway. I will also be meeting up with my old XRV, which will be cool. I ended up selling it to a nice guy from Harstad, because the guy from down south in the country who was supposed to buy it changed his mind. So I sold it just a couple of days ago, after only a couple of hours on finn.no. Great.
Oi!
Now we are going to ride in a parade, which is cool. This video is way too long already, but I wanted to show you what I have been up to lately. This fall I am planning a new trip to the Alps, but this time I will ride through the Netherlands, Belgium, France, and then into Italy and the Alps. I still haven't decided what bike I'm going to ride, so comment below and let me know what bike you think I should ride. If you follow this channel, you know that I have several bikes. I had to remove the last video from my test ride of the new XRV in Lofoten, because I accidentally flew my drone and filmed at a military facility. That's really embarrassing, so remember to check your drone maps before flying. After that, it seemed like my channel kind of died, I hope that's not the case. Well, anyway, I have to end this video now. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Until next time, we are out. Ciao.
Be a fire.